So some of you guys don't know, right? But I work in logistics. That is my daily bread, right? Ik werk met containerized cargo en trokke en warehousing en unpacking en ocean freight en that's my daily bread. That's what I do for a living. I'm a commercial manager, right? In the logistics space. I'm also busy studying supply chain management, which God willing, ik maak die jaar so klaar. Because of my derde jaar. And today we were talking about space utilization. In fact, we were talking about warehouse utilization and we were talking about resources and stuff like that, right? And we were talking about purpose. And julle weet mos ek like a lesson in alles sien. So we were talking about purpose and what we found was an empty warehouse is useless unless it finds purpose. Unless you find things to store in there. A heister that is not being utilized is a waste. It's useless. It is a cost. It actually costs you money. But something that has gotten purpose is valuable. And I thought to myself, that is such an amazing fact. Because if you apply it to yourself, it's life-changing. Because a lot of us are struggling to know what is our value. And I'm hoping to remember this point, and I'm going to double back. Because what I'm saying with that is only when you know your value, only when you know what you are worth, only when you know what you are here to do, right? If you know your value, if you know your worth, and further to that, if you know your purpose, then people can't come and tell you what you are worth. People can't come and tell you what you must take and what you must process. And I'll use an example, right? Let's say you are a king, right? I'm using extreme example. Let's say you are a king. As a king, people need to treat you a certain way. There's certain things that people cannot get away with when it comes to you because you are a king, right? But if you are a prince, people can get away with a little bit more than what they can get away with you if you were a king, and so on and so on and so on, right? Now sometimes we don't know what we are worth. That is why we let people treat us whatever way they want to. Sometimes we don't know, or we cannot accept who we are and what we are made of. So people decide who we are and what we are made of. There's a saying, and it's very kitschy and it's very corny, where people say, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Now, I found my purpose as a father. I found my purpose as a husband. And within my job, I found my purpose within my role. Which means somebody cannot just come and pull the wool over my eyes. Because I'm going to say, guys, I am the commercial manager. Don't forget who you're speaking to. I can also go out with my mandate that I receive from my company to go and speak to clients. I can make promises. I can make commitments within the scope of my role based on my mandate, based on who I am, what my purpose is, and what my value is within the company. Can I put the same deals together that my MD can put together? Definitely not. I'm not on that level. But I definitely have within my role and within my scope, I have value. I have authority. I have a mandate. Right? Now, and this part is for the ladies. If you don't know your worth, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your value, someone else is going to give you the value. And that might not be on par with who you should or who you are. I'll make an example because my brain is now all over the place. If you are a piece of gold and you don't know that you are a piece of gold, somebody might value you as a piece of silver because it is better for them to devalue you. But if you know that you are a piece of gold and somebody comes to you and says, I am going to value you as a piece of silver and I'm going to treat you as such, you can put up your hand and go, no, fuck that. I'm a piece of gold. This is my value. Treat me with the same value that you would treat a piece of gold. I hope that makes sense. How many of us, other people, wanted to treat us as if we are shit, as if we are nothing? And because we allowed it, because we ourselves couldn't hold their standard up to our standard and go, no man, sy treat vir my reg. We couldn't stand up for ourselves. And this is the part of the video where I'm going to lose some of you. God so loved the world, He loved you so much that He sent His only begotten Son. And all you need to do is believe in Him and you will get everlasting life. Now, if the Creator of heaven and earth can value you so much that He's willing to give up His Son so that He can have you back, then obviously you can't let Mr. So-and-so raise his hand to you. You can't let Mrs. So-and-so talk to you whichever way they want to. You can't have your in-laws treat you as if you are a subhuman or a second-class citizen, because God already decided how valuable you are. So next time you don't know how to value yourself, because sometimes our self-esteem is down. Sometimes what we think about ourselves is down. Sometimes we don't even know how to value ourselves. Look to God and ask God, what do I mean to you? And He'll be more than happy to remind you how much He loves you. And once you can accept that, then you can start holding the world to that standard. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because you know that it is grace that saved us. You know that the grace that you received, you didn't deserve. So that's not going to make you think that you are better than the next person. But you are going to know what you are worth. It's got nothing to do with ego. And if you find yourself in a situation doubting your value, doubting who you are, just remind yourself that there was somebody that thought of you while he was giving up his life so that you can come with him. For me, that is such a nice thought. It's such a nice sentiment, because I ask myself, besides the fact that my children love me and my wife value me, and the fact that I can tell myself that I deserve better in certain situations, it is good to know that I've got a God that loves me. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever wonder, am I worth it? Okay?